Welcome to Truth Meets Fiction, your home for timeless stories, unforgettable characters, and the kind of content that stays with you long after the credits roll. Whether it's fact, fiction, or somewhere in between, you'll find it here. Let's begin.
Play ball! Play ball with Babe Ruth! Play ball with the Navy! The United States Navy brings you the Adventures of Babe Ruth. And here to tell you about the immortal Babe is the man who knew him so well, his pal, the popular sports reporter, Steve Martin.
When the big fellow ambled out to the mound to pitch batting practice one day, nobody suspected that he intended to catch a rat and save a brilliant young catcher from the penitentiary. But that's just what he did. We'll bring you the exciting story in just a moment. But first, a brief but important message from Jackson Beck. Come in, Jack.
Right, Steve. I just want to say a word about Navy officers.
Fine, Jackson. What's the word about Navy officers?
Well, I think they're a fine group of men.
Well, yes.
And they're leaders. They're taught to be. They're solid citizens.
Well, thanks, Jack.
But what I'm trying to say, Steve, is that young fellows with college degrees ought to think very seriously of the Navy as a career. And I don't care what kind of degree they have. There's a great and important place in the Navy for young doctors, for instance. For mechanical and chemical and electronic and civil engineers. There's a Navy career awaiting psychologists and physicists and lawyers. And I don't know any life that could be more pleasant than that of a Navy officer.
You got something there, all right, Jack. A Navy officer has social acceptance in the highest circles. He has a guaranteed income that's certainly equal to anything he could make in civilian life. He has good housing and complete and expert medical care for himself and all his family. And what's most important, he has a very real financial security. For under the Navy's liberal retirement plan, he can retire in not so many years on an income that will be much more than adequate.
You college graduates, why don't you think about the Navy as a career? If you're interested and want full details, write today to the Bureau of Personnel, Navy Department, Washington 25, D.C. Or, if it's more convenient, stop in and see your local Navy recruiting officer. He'll tell you all you want to know and be happy to help you shape your career. And now, back to Steve Martin and the Adventures of Babe Ruth.
The big fellow had an eagle eye for promising young ball players, and one spring he brought a rookie catcher, whom I'll call Bobby Lee, to the Yankees training camp. The kid looked great, which didn't please Duke Adams. You see, Duke figured to be the regular catcher that season, and he started trouble on the train while we were working our way north.
This kid, Bobby Lee, where'd you find him, Babe?
Oh, in some little league in Iowa, Duke.
Iowa? Last week you said Minnesota.
Oh, did I? Oh, maybe it was Minnesota. I was on a barnstorming
Lee
trip.
said you discovered him in California.
Well, I guess that's where it was then.
It wasn't. I looked through all the league records for California and for Iowa and Minnesota, too. There wasn't any Bobby Lee listed.
Oh, there wasn't?
Nah, he wasn't in organized baseball last year, or the year before either. You guys are lying, Babe.
Now, wait a minute.
You're trying to cover up something.
Now, look, I don't like being called a liar, Duke. Take that back.
Like fun I will.
Okay,
You're a
then
liar.
you asked for it.
Then I did.
Cut it out, you lie. Well, I made a bad mistake, Steve, losing my temper with Duke.
What do you mean, babe?
Duke's sore at me now, and he's sore at Bobby Lee for beating him out of the first-string catcher's job. He won't rest till he finds out the truth,
What truth?
where I found Bobby.
Well, I meant to ask you about that. What's this big mystery about where you discovered him? And incidentally, where did you?
I can't tell even you, Steve.
Oh, why not?
You might talk in your sleep. And if Duke found out, it'd be just too bad for Bobby and for the Yankees.
I smelled a terrific story, but the big fellow stayed mum as a clam. A couple of days later, though, in Norfolk, the bomb exploded. It was in the Yankee clubhouse after the game. Duke Adams, coming back to his locker from the shower, suddenly began to yell his head off.
I've been robbed. Hey, somebody swiped my wallet. It was right here in my locker in my coat when I went to take my shower a couple of minutes ago, but it's gone now. There was $200 in it.
Well, maybe it dropped on the floor, Duke.
I looked all over. Some son of a gun swiped it.
Nobody swiped it, Duke.
How do you know, Lee?
Because my locker's next to yours, and I was right here all the time you were in the shower. Nobody came near your locker.
Are you sure, Bobby?
I'm positive, babe.
Well, you must have lost it some other place, Duke.
No, I didn't. And I know the answer now.
Huh? What do you mean?
I should have figured it right away. Bobby Lee here stole my wallet.
Why, you
Hold it,
rat...
Bobby. Now, look here, Duke.
He said himself nobody else came near my locker. And he's an ex-convict, isn't he?
An ex-convict?
That's right. Lee was in the big house for burglary before he joined the Yankees. Do you deny that, Lee?
Well, I... No.
You hear that, fellas?
But I didn't steal your wallet. And if you say I
Wait
did,
a
I'll
minute,
bring...
Bobby. You're a louse for bringing that up, Duke, and for accusing a man without proof.
Maybe I can find the proof, babe. Let's have a look in Lee's locker.
Go ahead, Duke. Search my locker.
That's what I'm doing. Hey, wait, what's this? Here's my wallet. Lee stashed it in one of his shoes.
Well, I'll be... You planted it there yourself, Duke.
Why, you dirty, lying
You
cunt.
framed me to get me off the club. But you can't get away with it. I'm going to make you admit it.
Oh, yeah? Well, how dirty
Now, look, here's the reason I asked Steve to bring you reporters in here. Bobby Lee served time for burglary, yes. The district attorney told me, though, he was convinced Bobby was innocent, and he took the rap to shield his kid brother. But even if Bobby was guilty, he paid the penalty, and his slate is clean. Now, he's entitled to a sporting chance, isn't that right?
Oh, sure he is, Babe, but the...
Babe, he stole $200 from Duke Adams.
Oh, no, he didn't steal Duke's money. And if you guys will give me a chance, I'll prove it.
You will?
Yes, I will. I want you fellas to hold up the story of what happened in the clubhouse today for 24 hours.
Babe, it's a big story.
If you print the story now, Bobby Lee will be crucified. He'll go back to jail. The Yankees will lose the greatest catching prospect in years. But give me just 24 hours, and I'll prove Bobby is innocent. And I'll give you the real crook, too. What do you say, fellas?
All right, I'll go along with you, babe.
So will I. Count me in.
Okay, fellas, that's it.
Now, listen, Babe, you think Duke Adams framed Bobby, don't you?
Could be, Steve.
You do think so. But how do you expect to prove it?
Well, I'd rather not tell you yet, Steve. It's a long chance, and you'd think I was nuts.
Well, let me point this out to you. You put yourself on a hot spot, getting the club and reporters to hold off exposing Bobby, not having him arrested. If you can't prove he's innocent and he takes a powder, your name will be mud.
I know that, Steve.
But you're still going through with it?
You bet I am. You and the other reporters be at the ballpark tomorrow morning. We're having practice. You'll see the payoff then, I hope.
I was at the ballpark the next morning. So were the other reporters. The big fellow told us to stand behind the wire batting cage. Then he called all the players over.
Okay.
Hey, here's the babe now.
Fellas, Hug's got a cold today. I talked to him, and we decided you guys need a hard batting drill. So I'm going to pitch to you.
You, babe?
That's right, Duke. Any objections?
Oh, no, of course not. Why should I object?
Oh, you might have a good reason.
What do you mean?
You'll find out. Now, look, fellas, there's another reason I'm going to pitch batting practice. Bobby Lee was framed yesterday, and one of you guys framed him.
One of us?
Yeah.
Say, what is it?
Yeah, one of you guys. And I know who the guy is. Now, get this. I used to be a pretty fair country pitcher. I haven't pitched for a long time. I might be a little wild, especially when the rat who framed Bobby comes up. Okay, go on up there and take your licks.
Okay, what this is going to be.
I was puzzled and tense as I gathered with the other reporters behind the batting cage and watched the big fellow start pitching to the Yankee players. What was he up to? I was sure he wouldn't purposely hit Duke. He laid the ball in there, high, low, working the corners, and his control was as sharp as when he was the best southpaw pitcher in baseball. One after the other, the Yankees walked into the cage, hit three of the big fellow's pitches, and walked back to the end of the line. The tension kept mounting. There wasn't any kidding among the players, as there usually was. Then it was Duke Adams' turn. I felt a little chill run up my spine, and my throat got tight. Duke hesitated outside the cage, and the big fellow called to him.
Well, what are you waiting for, Duke? Get in there.
I got a crick in my back, babe. I think I'll skip this round.
You need the practice. Get in the cage.
But I tell you...
You're not telling me anything. I'm telling you. I'm in charge here today. Now get in there.
Duke walked into the cage nervously, tapped his bat on the plate. Babe stood out on the mound, glaring down at him, and he looked bigger even than he was. Then he wound up. A long, deliberate wind-up, and let fly. The ball rocketed in as if it was shot out of a gun over the inside corner and level with Duke's head. Duke jumped back a foot. He was pale as a ghost. The big fellow wound up and fired again, just a shade closer this time. Duke jumped back again, and Babe fired a third one, in the same place, so fast you could hardly see it. This time, Duke jumped back so hard he lost his balance and landed on the seat of his pants. Some of the reporters and players laughed, nervously. Duke jumped to his feet, shaking a little, and yelled at Babe.
You're trying to beat me. I got enough of this.
Get back in there, Duke. You've got to hit 3.
Nuts. You're not going to kill me.
It's your guilty conscience, brother. I caught the corner of the plate every time. Hey, you reporters back there, am I right?
Yeah, we're right on.
You hear that, Duke? Now get back in there and hit.
Duke had to walk back into the cage then, wiping the sweat off his face. The big fella grinned wickedly, then wound up and started to fire. 3 times the ball blazed straight at Duke's head, then broke sharply before it reached the plate and curved away. But each time, Duke hit the dirt. And the third time, he let out a howl, jumped up, and started out of the cage. His eyes were rolling wildly in his head, and he was shaking all over. Babe was off the mound like a flash and grabbed him.
He tried to kill me. He tried to kill me.
Now, wait a minute, Duke.
Hey, let me go. You tried to kill me. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, no, you're not. Not till you admit the truth. You framed Bobby Lee, didn't you? You put your wallet in his locker yourself.
Let me go.
Didn't you?
Yes, I know.
We heard you the first time. Steve, get the park cop and take this rat away.
He's got it coming to him.
Babe, I still can't believe it. How'd you do it?
Simple psychology, Steve. I was sure Duke planted his wallet in Bobby's locker, figuring to make it stick because Bobby had once been in trouble.
Well, yes, but...
Now, a guy who would do that is not only a rotten sport, but he's yellow. So I figured if I got him into the batting cage and let him know I suspected him, he'd be sure those high, close ones were meant to kill him. But he had to stay in there because all your reporters said my pitches were over the plate. Quitting would be giving himself away.
But he lost his nerve and cracked up.
Right. Just the way I hoped he would, Steve.
Oh, Babe, when your playing days are over, be sure to see me, will you? I know a detective agency that'll be glad to give you a job.
Yeah, I'll remember that, Steve.
Thanks, Steve Martin, for a very exciting adventure of Babe Ruth.
You're certainly welcome, Jack. But it's nothing compared to the everlasting adventures a young fellow can have as an officer in the United States Navy. To me, those are great words, Jack. The reward for having been diligent in college and healthy and moral. As a Navy commander, I'm probably biased, but that's only natural. But I can tell you honestly that I'm very proud to have associated with the men I have in the Navy and to have been an officer. I don't think there's a finer bunch of men alive. Believe me, the life and the security of a career as a naval officer are something very worthwhile to shoot at. Why, you have everything, Jack. Whether you're a flying officer, a doctor, an engineer, or a chaplain. You've got good pay, a retirement plan that gives you everything you could get out of civilian life. You have social prestige, housing, expert medical and hospital care for yourself and family. And you have the very satisfying knowledge that you're an officer in the United States Navy.
Look, fellows, if you're college graduates in good health and can meet the Navy's standards of physical and moral fitness, you're eligible to become a Navy officer. For full details, write to the Bureau of Personnel, Navy Department, Washington 25 D.C., or see your local Navy recruiting officer. And do it now. Now, Steve Martin, what's on the grill for next week?
For next week, Jack, I'm going to tell you about a feud between an umpire and the big fellow, which almost killed both of them.
The Adventures of Babe Ruth is written by Ben Peter Freeman, produced by Woody Close, directed by Ronald Dawson, and presented by the United States Navy.
Play ball with Babe Ruth. the Navy. The United States Navy brings you the Adventures of Babe Ruth. And here to tell you about the immortal Babe is the man who knew him so well, his pal, the popular sports reporter, Steve Martin.
In big league baseball, there have been many goats. Players who failed when the chips went down or who pulled a bonehead play to lose a World Series. But before I tell you tonight's story, I have a message for you. You may remember that on this program I've occasionally talked about the future of young men. I have because I've been through the mill myself and know the great importance of deciding right at the beginning of your career exactly where you're going. When you're dreaming of your future, picture yourself streaking across the sky in a sleek jet fighter, of making your first landing on a carrier deck. And when you walk down the street of your own hometown, you're wearing those coveted Navy wings of gold, a full-fledged naval aviator. If you qualify as a naval aviation cadet, training, adventure, and travel await you.
And there's more than that, Steve. After you've spent 2 years on active duty with the fleet, you may be selected for a lifetime career as a naval officer with all the privileges of regular Navy life.
Well, sure, Jack, and as an officer, you have the highest social and professional standing. Free medical care for yourself and family, and numerous other advantages. I don't know how much more a fella can want.
That's certainly my feeling, Steve. And if you fellows want to fly with the fleet and wear Navy wings of gold, write to NAVCAD. That's NAVCAD, NAVCAD, Washington 25, D.C. And now back to Steve Martin and the Adventures of Babe Ruth.
It was late in July, and the Yankees, riddled by infield injuries, were in a bad way. I was having dinner in the hotel dining room with manager Huggins and the Babe.
When is this new shortstop? No, the kid who's been burning up the bushes. When's he going to join us, Hug?
Well, he's doing here tonight, Babe, but I'm worried. I understand he's a bit eccentric.
The screwball, you mean, Hug?
Yeah, I guess so, Steve. That might mean trouble.
I don't care how big a screwball he is. If he's a hard-hitting shortstop, he's what the doctor ordered.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
Hey, Steve, Hug, look. There's a goat loose in here.
A what?
A goat?
Great big billy goat, see?
Holy smokes!
Get him, man. He's coming right for
I'll
us.
stop him.
No, Babe, you'll get
I've
hurt.
got to stop him before he kills somebody.
Babe made a flying tackle, caught the goat by the horns, and went down with him. I grabbed the animal's legs and was hanging on for dear life when a skinny, sunburned guy came rushing in with a broken clothesline. We had Mr. Goat wrapped up when Henri, the head waiter, arrived.
Monsieur Huggins, this is outrage. Behold my dining room. She is wrecked.
Don't blame me, Henri. It isn't my goat.
But it is the goat of this man, this assassin with a rope. He say he is one of your best bowlers.
He is not.
Sure I am, Mr. Huggins. I'm Barney Jones, your new shortstop. From Sioux Falls, you know.
What? Did you bring this goat in here?
Naturally, I couldn't come here without Sweet William.
You hear, Monsieur Huggins? He admits it.
I'm sorry about this little trouble, but Sweet William saw the bass drum on the bandstand. Whenever he sees a bass drum, he charges it.
Well, you can charge right back to Sioux Falls with him. This is a big league ball club, not a zoo. Save your breath, Babe. I've got enough trouble without getting mixed up with a screwball and a goat.
I'm not a screwball.
Wait a minute, Barney. Look, Hug. Barney hit close to 400 in Sioux Falls.
401 to be exact.
I don't care.
With Sewell and Duggan and Lazare hurt, we've lost most of our power. Barney might give us just the punch we need.
Put me and Sweet William in the lineup and we'll win the pennant for you, Mr. Huggins.
Do you hear that, Babe? He wants us to put his goat in the lineup. He's as nutty as a fruitcake.
You don't understand, Hug.
No, you see, Sweet William is my mascot. Since my sister gave him to me 2 months ago, no pitcher's been able to get me out. I never hit over 250 before, but now I'm hitting over 400. It's because of Sweet William.
That stopped manager Huggins. He'd been around long enough to know that ball players are the most superstitious guys in the world. And when he understood that Barney's goat didn't have to be on the field during the games, but could stay in the clubhouse, he gave in. But Babe had to agree to room with Barney and Sweet William. No other player would. Well, the next afternoon, Barney was nothing short of terrific. He banged out 4 straight hits, 2 of them doubles with the bases loaded, and the Yanks won their first game in a week. Barney went right on being terrific. He slaughtered the Red Sox practically single-handed, and he murdered the Athletics and the Senators. The other players caught the fever, and when the Yankees finished that home stand and took to the road, they'd come all the way from 5th place to 2nd.
Well, Huck, what do you think about Barney and Sweet William now?
Oh, it's too good to last, Babe. Something's bound to happen.
All that's going to happen is we're going to win the pennant again. How about that?
I'm not so sure, Babe. Not only Barney, but the whole club is beginning to think that blasted goat is responsible for our winning streak. Something's sure to happen.
Oh, stop being a worrywart, Hug. Look, if I can stand it with Sweet William keeping me awake all night, you can too. Especially when it's winning a flag for you.
Hug was right. Something did happen the moment we got to Chicago. We came out of the LaSalle Street station to get into taxi cabs, and there was a parade going by on Jackson Boulevard. Well, the first thing anybody knew, Sweet William had jerked his rope out of Barney's hand and was off to the races.
He saw the bass drum in the band. Sweet William, come back here. Sweet William, come back.
All the ball players, even Huggins, dropped their suitcases and charged after that crazy goat. Sweet William made straight for the bass drum in the band, put down his head, and rammed through it. Came out on the other side and kept going with us after him. Well, the last we saw of him, he was headed south down an alley. That afternoon, Barney went hitless. And Babe, who was not only dizzy from lack of sleep, but lame from being butted by Sweet William, was horse-collared, too. The White Sox shellacked us, and they did it again the next 2 days. Huggins raved in the clubhouse.
What's the matter with you guys? You're playing like sick old men. You've lost all your spirit.
That's because I lost Sweet William, Mr. Huggins.
Shut up! Barney, you're an idiot, but the rest of you fellas ought to know better. Now, this has gone far enough.
It wouldn't be so bad if Sweet William had a good home. But he was heading right for the stockyards. He's probably a can of glue now.
Stop it, I said. Now, you saps, listen to me.
Unless something's done, Steve, this club will not only lose the pennant, it'll finish in the cellar.
I know, Babe, but what can we do? You can't carry the load yourself. You need Barney, but he's a bust without his goat.
We've got to get him a goat.
Not a goat, Sweet William. And he's either glue, like Barney says, or he's in New Mexico.
Wait a minute, I've got an idea, Steve. I'll see you later.
Late that night, Babe knocked on my door. When I opened it... What the... Babe! Is that Sweet William?
What do you think, Steve?
Well, it looks like... Well, no, this goat isn't Sweet William.
Who says it isn't?
I do. What, this goat...
Come with me, Steve.
Huh? Where?
Right across the hall to mine and Barney's room.
Babe, it won't work.
Quiet. Barney's a city boy, not a farm boy. Barney, where are you, Barney?
I was just packing my suitcase, Babe. I'm going back to What the... Sweet William.
Uh-huh. Say howdy to your papa, Sweet William.
Hey, wait. This isn't Sweet William.
Why, sure it is,
It
Barney.
isn't. Sweet William has horns.
Oh, well, you see, Barney, the people who found Sweet William the other day had to cut his horns off. He was too friendly with them.
Oh. Hey, this goat doesn't smell like Sweet William. It doesn't smell hardly at all.
Well, sure not. He just got a bath.
Oh. Well, what do you know? Sweet William is back. Oh, boy, am I sorry for those White Sox tomorrow.
I was sorry for the White Sox the next day, too, when Babe and Barney, who hit like madmen again, got through with them. And I was sorry for St. Louis and then for Detroit, when Babe and Barney waded through both those towns for a clean sweep of 8 games. We went into Cleveland and took 2 games and were tied for first place.
Oh, you Sweet William, huh, Steve?
We're living on borrowed time, Babe. Barney may be a city boy who doesn't know anything about goats, but he's going to find out.
Oh, forget it. We've got nothing to worry about.
But that was one time the big fella was wrong, because he'd overlooked a little lady called Mother Nature. There was a doubleheader the next day, and when I went to the clubhouse with the Yankees after the first game, the trainer and clubhouse man were running around like crazy. And there were 3 goats there. The phony Sweet William had given birth to 2 kids.
You fooled me, babe. It wasn't Sweet William after all. You lied to me.
Now, wait, Barney. I did it for your good, too.
It's all over. The charm is broken. Now I'll just be a Bush League ball player again.
Now, no, you won't. Listen,
Oh,
Barney.
it's no use. It's all over, I tell you. I can't hit a balloon without Sweet
Barney, come back here.
Yeah, there goes our pennant, babe. We're finished.
Maybe not, Hug. Oh, Barney, I want you to listen to me a moment.
I forgive you, babe.
Oh, never mind that. You're going back on the field
No,
and...
babe, I'm through. I'm just a punk busher without Sweet William.
Oh, yeah? Look, you dummy. These last 2 weeks, while you were pounding the cover off the ball, you thought it was because Sweet William was in your corner.
Well, yeah.
But Sweet William wasn't in your corner. You were doing it by your own self. Catch on?
Well, you mean...
I mean you're a terrific ball player in your own right, Barney. The goat happened to be around when you hit your stride, so you figured he was the reason. But now you found out that wasn't so. You don't need any superstitious mumbo-jumbo to help you knock the ball out of the lot. All you need is a bat.
Well, yeah. You're right, babe. It wasn't Sweet William. I am a big leaguer in my own right.
Sure you are, kid.
Well, what do you know?
Babe, you're wonderful. Well, what are you guys standing around for? We got another game to win today. You, Barney, get out on the field now.
Yes, sir, Hug. And I'm the boy to win it for you. Come on, gang, let's go.
Well, I gotta hand it to you, babe. I didn't know you were such a good psychologist.
Hey, don't give me any of those $5 words, Steve. I did it strictly from desperation.
You mean you need that World Series sugar?
I mean I needed sleep.
Oh.
Did you ever try sleeping with a goat chewing your toes all night, huh?
Thanks a lot, Steve Martin, for this amusing adventure of Babe Ruth. And you fellows who may have been dreaming of a career in aviation, think of naval aviation. In a recent survey, 95% of businessmen queried stated that the ability to fly an airplane would be a definite advantage to a young man seeking a job. That statement fits right into the Naval Aviation Cadet Program. To college men who can meet the high physical standards, the Naval Aviation Cadet Program offers an unbeatable chance to learn to fly. First, you spend about 2 years in flight training at the Navy's colorful Annapolis of the Air at Pensacola, Florida. Upon completion of that training, you're commissioned a naval officer, awarded your Navy Wings of Gold, and assigned to 2 years on active flight duty. Later, your Navy flying experience, the best in the world, will be valuable in civilian life. For full details, for the new illustrated booklet, Wear Navy Wings of Gold, write to NAVCAD. That's NAVCAD, NAVCAD, Washington 25, D.C. And if you're interested, as most young fellows are, in the Navy's great sports program, stop in at your local Navy recruiting office and ask for your free copy of the colorful and interesting booklet, Play Ball Around the World. What's on deck for next week, Steve Martin?
Well, Jack, next week I've got an exciting story of the time that the big fella and Eddie the bad boy tangled with a Chicago gangster. Brother, that was something.
Sounds terrific, Steve, and we'll all be listening. The Adventures of Babe Ruth is written by Ben Freeman, produced by Woody Close, directed by Ronald Dawson, and presented by the United States Navy.
Play ball with Babe Ruth. Play ball with the Navy. The United States Navy brings you the Adventures of Babe Ruth. And here to tell you about the immortal Babe is the man who knew him so well, his pal, the popular sports reporter, Steve Martin.
There was was a fellow called Harry the Hat, another one named Babe Ruth, and a young sports writer named Steve Martin. And there was a bit of feud which changed all of their lives. But before I tell you how the big fella and I got to be lifelong friends when he saved my job and my future, maybe we ought to think about your future, too. And I'm talking to you young fellas of 17 or more. I've been in either the regular Navy or in the reserve since I was 17, and when I tell you that Navy life is a good life, I know what I'm talking about. It's not only good, but it's productive, important. It was in the Navy that my love of sports really blossomed when I discovered that I should write about them as well as play them. And the same thing has happened to thousands of other young men. They've made lifelong friends, found their futures in their hometown Navy, the U.S. Naval Reserve. Yes, the Naval Reserve offers the opportunity to study a trade and at the same time enjoy membership in an organization that's made up of friends working and playing together, while enjoying the great privilege of helping to keep America strong. Yes, sir, find out about your hometown Navy, the U.S. Naval Reserve. If you're over 17 and want to get in on a good thing, join the United States Naval Reserve, your hometown Navy. You can do it very easily by contacting your local Navy recruiting office.
You make a lot of sense to me, Steve.
Thanks, Jack.
Incidentally, you young men will want a copy of Play Ball Around the World, the intensely interesting booklet on Navy sports, which you can get without obligation at your local Navy recruiting office. And now, back to Steve Martin and the Adventures of Babe Ruth.
I was a young reporter fresh out of Iowa, and my first big chance came when the sports writer of the New York News Syndicate picked me to be Babe Ruth's personal writer. I was on top of the world when I went to the Yankee Stadium to meet the big fella. It was almost game time, and he was alone in the clubhouse with a skinny, sharp-faced character. When I opened the door, it looked like I had walked in.
I'll piece you right in the nose. That's what I ought to do.
Let go of me, Ruth.
Next time I will, too, only there better not be any next time. Now, come on now, out you go.
Let go, you big clown, or I'll...
No, you won't do anything, you dirty little punk. Now, out you go. And don't come back. That'll teach him that no good. Hey, who are you?
Well, my name's Steve Martin. I'm with the News Syndicate.
A reporter?
That's right.
Well, what just happened isn't for publication. Get it?
Well, I was going to ask you, who was that character and what...
You mean you don't know him?
No, you see, I'm pretty new around here.
Good, then forget all about it.
But what
Forget
happened?
it, I said. Look, Martin, I've got to get out in the field, but if it's an interview you want, I'll meet you after the game.
Well, it's not exactly an interview.
Huh?
You see, I'm your new personal writer, Babe.
Huh? No, you're not. I've got a writer.
What do you mean? The syndicate just assigned me to the job.
Oh, yeah, they told me. Look, I'm sorry, kid. I had to tell him to call you off.
Why?
Well, there's a guy I worked with before, a friend of mine, see? I told the syndicate I'd kind of like to have him write my stuff.
Well, that's a dirty trick. The syndicate picked me.
Oh, don't get sore, kid. You're young yet. You'll get lots of other chances.
Don't give me that kid stuff. I'm as old as you are.
Okay. Like I said, I'm sorry. Now, I'll try to square it for you sometime. I've got to get out on the field now. So long.
Is that a big fella double-cross you, too,
Huh? Who are you?
Just call me Cully. I heard what happened in there. You know why Babe done you out of the writing job, don't you?
Sure. He wants it for a pal of his.
Uh-huh. You know who his pal is?
No, and I don't care.
Well, you ought to be in a reporter. It's Harry Bogan.
Who?
Don't you know who Harry Bogan is? Harry the Hat, they call him.
No, I don't know him. I haven't been in New York long.
No, well, let me tell you about Harry. He used to be a big sports reporter. He had a column. In the Hat, he called it. But the trouble with Harry, he couldn't let the bottle alone. It got so bad he not only lost his column, he couldn't hold a job.
What? You mean Babe Ruth turned me down for a washed-up booze hound?
Sure he did. What does Babe care about a nice young fella like you? He wants a guy like Harry around to go carousing around with at night.
Now, wait a minute. The sports writers tell me that Babe likes to have fun, but he lives clean and keeps himself in condition.
That's a lot of baloney. Why do you suppose he's in a slump? He ain't hitting the size of his cap.
Well, any player can get in a slump once in a while.
It's on account he's up all night with Harry the Hat having himself a big time. That's why he's slumping and why the Yanks are in fourth place.
Why, I can't believe it.
I can prove it.
You can?
Yeah. If I give you the facts, will you write them up for the papers in your syndicate? You can show him up to the whole country for the kind of guy he really is. Getting a big salary and not even keeping in condition. Letting down his team and all the fans. You call that playing square?
Well, no. If what you say is true, but
I told you I'd give you the facts, didn't I? Look, kid, this is your chance to get back at that double-crosser. And not only that, when you give the papers a scoop, you'll be a big-shot reporter. You won't have to beg Babe Ruth to let you write for him.
my instinct told me not to trust Cully. But I was so burned up at the raw deal I thought Babe had given me, I didn't listen to my instinct. Losing this job and the salary boost that went with it meant I would have to postpone my wedding to the girl back home. About a week later, my editor called me into his office.
Steve, a good reporter always writes the truth. He doesn't let his personal feelings color it.
What do you mean, sir?
Ever since Babe Ruth turned you down as his personal writer, you've been taking snide cracks at him in your stories. The big fella's the greatest ball player who ever lived, and he's a grand guy.
That's what you think.
And so does everyone else who knows him.
They're wrong, and so are you, as you'll find out.
What do you mean?
I'll have a big story for you any day now. It'll knock your eyes out, and it'll wake up every fan in the country. You just wait and see. Hello.
Steve?
Yes, who's this?
This is Cully. Listen, when are you going to write that story about the big guy?
I haven't got enough proof yet, Cully.
I gave you plenty of proof.
But most of it hasn't been first-hand. I've got to see for myself.
Okay, meet me at 79th and 2nd Avenue in half an hour. I'll show you.
I met Cully that night. And an hour later, I was back at the office pounding out the story that was going to ruin Babe Ruth and make me a star reporter. I felt a little sick writing it. But the arguments Cully had given me kept running through my mind.
He's getting the biggest salary in baseball, but he ain't even keeping in condition. He's letting his team down and the fans. You call that playing square?
I finished the story and looked at the clock. There was just time enough to make the morning editions. I dropped my story on the city editor's desk and went home, feeling a little sick again, as if I'd broken a beautiful statue. When I opened my door, the phone was ringing. Hello?
Steve, this is the city desk. We just got a flash. Babe Ruth went to West Side Hospital.
What?
Hop right up there and find out about it.
I made the hospital in nothing flat. It was the first reporter there. A nurse directed me to an anteroom where I found a tall, gray-haired man.
Yes?
Oh, excuse me, Father.
It's Brother, my son, Brother Matthias.
Brother Matthias?
Yes.
Oh, you're the man who taught the babe to play ball at St. Mary's Industrial Home.
Oh, I gave him a few pointers, that's all. He was a natural ball player. Ah, poor Babe.
What happened to him, sir?
Nothing happened to him.
What? Well, then why did
a friend who was very dear to him died. Harry Bogan.
Bogan?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Harry the Hat?
They called him that. He was a wonderful man.
Oh, yeah? He was a... Well, I'm sorry.
I understand. But judge not, my son. Perhaps, had you been in his place, you would have done as he did.
What do you mean, sir?
Harry had cancer.
Cancer?
Yes, incurable cancer. But he never complained. No one even knew he had it. Except he and his doctor, Babe and I. That was why he sometimes drank, though. And why he could no longer hold a job.
Oh, the poor guy. I didn't know that he had...
He had been raised at St. Mary's, too, and he helped Babe a great deal when Babe broke into baseball. Babe never forgot it. And when he got a chance, he made Harry his personal writer. Of course, Harry did very little writing.
Who did?
Babe.
Babe?
Yeah, it was pretty hard work, too. Babe isn't an easy writer. And after a tough ball game and then trailing poor Harry around town half the night to see that nothing happened to him, well, Babe often sat up until morning writing Harry stories for him.
So that's it. And I thought that...
I told him it was no wonder his batting average slumped.
Great Scott, what a fool I've been.
You, my son?
Yes, me. I ought to have my head examined. I ought to... Wait, what time is it?
5:40.
Oh, It's too late. The story's gone to press. The papers will be on the streets in a few minutes.
What story?
The story that'll finish the big fella, and me, too.
I don't understand.
I don't know what I can do now, but I've got to get back to the office. Goodbye, Brother Matthias. You mean you didn't print my story about Babe?
No, Steve. Fortunately, we had a call from the district attorney in time.
The district
His
attorney?
men have been watching a racketeer and gambler named Cully Wilson. And the DA told me that you were seen with Nelson last night.
Well, yes. You see,
The DA wanted to know all about you. Seems that Cully Nelson tried to bribe Babe Ruth to throw a series. The big fellow threw him out in his ear, of course, and then reported the incident to the police. Well, I put two and two together and figured that Cully wanted to get back at Babe and fed you this phonus balonus about Babe being a bum. And you, being young and green, had fallen for it. So I held up the story until I could check with you. Now, was I right?
Oh, yes, sir. I don't know what to say, except... Well, I'm a sore head and a chump, and... Oh, shucks, I wish I was dead. I'll clean out my desk and go back to Iowa, sir.
Hey, not so fast, Steve Martin. I want to talk to you.
Babe! I had to tell Ruth about this, Steve.
Yeah, sure, I understand. Well, Babe, go ahead, sock me. I've got it coming.
Oh, no, I'm no dummy. If I sock you, you won't be able to work for a week. I can't stay up any more nights writing newspaper stories. I've got to sleep so I can start hitting again.
What do you mean?
What do you suppose I mean? You're my writer, aren't you?
Me?
Sure.
Oh, wait, Babe. You can't be serious.
Why not? Didn't you tell me that Steve here has the makings of a great sports writer?
Well, yes, but that was before...
So he made a mistake. I've made lots of them. Haven't you ever made any?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so forget it, and everybody be happy. When are you ready to come to work, Steve?
Well, by any time, I guess, Babe.
Well, right now.
But, I don't know how to say it,
Oh,
Babe.
forget it. I had a hunch the first time I saw you we were going to be pals. Come on now, let's you and I go get something to eat. And I'll go to sleep, and you go to work. And that's the way it's going to be from here on in. Okay?
Okay, Babe, and thanks. There's a wonderful spirit in young fellas. I had it. All you young fellas have it. You want to get ahead. You want to be somebody. To have knowledge and skill that'll bring you success and security and a feeling of accomplishment. Well, I'll tell you right now, you can get all that and more in your hometown Navy, the United States Naval Reserve. You'll make new friends. You'll be trained and trained well in any one of the many Navy skills. You'll have a chance for advancement. And by golly, if you stay with it a while, you'll be eligible for retirement pay besides. From my own experience, I know these things are true. And besides, you have that good feeling inside that you're doing something that's really worthwhile.
That's absolutely right, Steve. And remember, fellows, don't forget to get your copy of Play Ball Around the World. It's an exciting, colorful, interesting book that tells the whole story of Navy sports. And you can get it free simply by asking for it at your local Navy recruiting office. Well, Steve Martin, what have you got coming up next week?
Well, I've got a honey about a goat, Jack.
A goat?
Yeah, a goat named Sweet William who won a flag for the Yankees. See you all next week.
The Adventures of Babe Ruth is produced by Woody Close, directed by Ronald Dawson, written by Ben Freeman, and brought to you by the United States Navy.
Every story leaves a trace, some in history, others in the shadows. If this one made you think, question, or shiver just a little, you're in the right place. This is Truth Meets Fiction. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and don't believe everything you're told.